Okay, so welcome to Unit 2 Zoom session. Um, uh, I just want to take this time to clear up about exercise submission and all of that when it comes to completing your exercises. But first, before I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this Unit 2's objectives for this week. So I hope everybody can see my screen. So the learning objectives for this week is we're going to create, execute, modify, and save SQL commands. We're going to create, modify, view, correct, and describe tables. So here you see we're going to create the tables in this unit. And we're going to identify and apply data types to definition of columns in the table. So we also have a Unit 2 discussion, and we have a Unit 2 Colonial Adventures Tours exercise, which I'll go over here in a little bit. And we have the Unit 2 exercise, which I'll also go over. Hey, Chris, can you hear me? Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you?
Okay, yeah. You're the only one in the session right now, but I want to go in here and basically I was going to go through Unit 2's work and for this week, but I also wanted to try and clear up this confusing between how you submit your exercises and create your tables and your colonial ventures and connect into your databases. Because I know it's not clear. I mean, it's if you look at the exercise, it says complete the exercise as instructed in the textbook. Submit the required documentation and SQL database by clicking on the title of this assignment. So but for example, in Unit 1, we did not have, there was no computer work required. You were just required to submit your Word document for your answers with your SQL statements. And that was also the same for the Unit 2 exercise. But regardless, I just wanted to make sure it's clear to you and to everybody that we how to submit your exercises and go from there. And I will make sure that's cleared up, because this is week 2, and we're really we'll get into more of SQL this week. But are you having any issues, Chris, with interpreting the required submission for the assignments and for the exercises?
So my big question was, I think you just answered it a little bit ago. I had posted in the class discussion board. So my big issue was the lack of clarity in like, for example, the assignment in the Word document, where it says, hey, go ahead and write a statement to get whatever cities it was, Paris and whatever.
Right.
Which is fine, which I understand how to do that, but it gives you the assumption that there's already a database there with the information that you'll be pulling the data from. What it doesn't say is, hey, you should build this table first before you write the SQL statement to pull the information.
Exactly, yeah. And Chris, and I'm going to apologize now, but I have to draft up this long message to course development at Southwestern, and to ask for more. All right, just don't assign an assignment. Okay, you gotta tell us what database we want the students to connect to, and tell us if we have to create the tables, or if the tables are already in the database that we're connecting to.
Right, and that was my biggest issue. Is I spent a couple hours trying to figure out, because I didn't understand the program, having not really used it as far as navigating it. So I was like, is there a database that I don't have, or am I just not doing this right?
Absolutely, Chris. And I mean, even as your instructor, I'm like, all right, where is this table at? You know, like even for this week's assignment for salesman, and this is, you know, it's just I got to get with course development, and get a message out to the university. It says, all right, we need to make better descriptions or better directions on these exercises. Not just say, hey, write a query that creates a table for this. And I had people asking me, where did you get your data? Where's the data come from? I'm like, yeah. So I owe that to you guys. I haven't done it yet, but I got to draft that up. And that'll go out probably tomorrow morning, my time. But it's even as, because I teach this course for another university, and but the course development was done a little differently. But we use Oracle in the other course too. So, but anyway, I get it. It's an issue. I've been trying to post some announcements to hopefully clear it up. And I'm not dinging you guys on any kind of like, if you didn't zip up your database because it wasn't there, you know. Chris, hang on 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
So Chris, have you used SQL before or no?
No, I've never used SQL. I mean, the only database I've used really is Access.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've used SQL to connect into, well, SharePoint uses SQL to as their backend database. So, but I've used MySQL. I haven't used. I've learned the hard way through Oracle, but SQL is more my bag, and more in the query statements. You know, making sure that the query statements are correct. So, right. So hopefully we can get that cleared up. But because you're right, there needs to be more detailed instructions, not just saying create all right, we got to create the table, and let's tell us to create the table. So, but I owe that to you guys to get that cleared up.
That sounds good.
Okay, so so for this our PowerPoint review for this week, it delves into Oracle, but you're going to be utilizing SQL Server, not Oracle. So this was like I said, this week we're going to look at creating and run SQL commands. We're going to create tables, identify and use data types to define columns and tables, and excuse me. And we're going to understand using nulls and add how do you add rows to to tables. Basically, this objective for this week is creating and manipulating tables for this week. We're going to view table data. How do you say SQL commands to a file? Describe a table's layout using SQL. Go back one. Yeah. So we talked about what SQL is. It's a structural query language. It's been around since the 70s, and it's used by most database management systems. I think a lot of your finance companies, you're going to see they're using Oracle, but a lot of them use SQL also. Okay. So this just gets, I'm gonna breeze through this, Chris, because this gets into using and running SQL commands, utilizing the Oracle database 11G Express. We're not going to be using this, but this is, if there was an assignment, they would provide the Oracle database Express to you, but I'm going to just breeze through this. But this is all about using running SQL commands in Oracle. And this PowerPoint is in this week's unit section.
Yeah, I think I ended up skipping over most of this because it was so Oracle heavy.
Yeah, it's very Oracle heavy, and it's basically just it's telling you how to create tables and how to use Oracle to create your tables and stuff like that, and run your SQL commands in Oracle. It's a totally different interface too. So I mean, I'm also going to ask them to take this out, because if you're new to using SQL Server, and then you throw Oracle in, and now you have a totally different view also, which could be confusing. So, like I said, this week we're gonna create tables. How to use the create table command, table and column name restrictions. Names cannot exceed 30 characters. And this is just an example of a create table command for the rep table. I'm not a.
No, that would be the same script using SQL, right, as it would Oracle.
Yeah. So that's Yeah, this is based upon, okay. This is more Oracle stuff, but it's the same. The actual SQL commands are the same, but it's how you do it in Oracle and how you do it in SQL Server is different.
Right. Okay.
But the code, the actual query is the same. This talks about dropping a table. Okay, this is talking about our discussion this week. We talked about char and varchar, which one was better to use. These are common data types. Using nulls to create a table, or the not null clause. Chris, where are you actually? What state are you actually in?
I'm in Qatar right now. It's 2 a.m.
Oh, okay, Qatar. Holy cow! That's right.
I work nights and it's my day off, so it's worked out good.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm a contractor too in Stuttgart, but I work for a small company called Systems Plus.
Okay, I'm the tanker executioner at the deed in the KOC.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. It's like Qatar. It's two. So it's like it's 2 o'clock. Yeah. So
yeah, we're +3 Zulu.
The pretty reliable connection there you got there. You're able to complete your work or your schoolwork and stuff along with.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You get the occasional hiccup, as you would, depending on weather, because they're satellite-based internet, but it works pretty good.
Yeah, but hey, Chris, don't hesitate shooting me a message if you guys go down or something like that, and you need more time. When you come back up, just shoot me a message. I did both of my masters working as a contractor in Iraq. So I know what it's like. All right, we just lost internet, couldn't complete our work and stuff like that. So, but definitely if you go down and I don't see any chatter out of you or any work submitted, don't sweat it. I'll get the message. Just shoot me a message. Say, hey, look, we went down, and you won't be penalized at all.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Let's talk about this is more Oracle stuff. Doing table data in Oracle. Yeah, this PowerPoint was pretty much heavy in Oracle. Yeah, okay. So the big issue for this week is that you're going to be creating tables, updating tables, and running queries against that table. So I'm going to get out of this. I'm going to close this PowerPoint. Okay. Now I want to go into, I have the Unit 2 Colonial Adventures Tours exercise pulled up here. And so for this week, Chris, we are to, we're going to use the TAL Distributors database.
Okay.
And we're going to answer questions 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is basically we're going to create a table. We're going to add some following rows to it, and we're going to delete the sales rep table, and then we're going to run the script file for the TAL distributor. Just a key point here, Chris, is that you be sure to select the script file for the particular database that you're using, and we're using SQL Server. So
okay.
it's just questions 1 through 4 that we're going to be utilizing for this for the Unit 2 Colonial Adventure Tours exercise. And then for the Unit 2 exercises, and this is where it threw me for a loop too, it says we're going to write SQL statements to find those salesmen with all the information who come from the city after Paris are wrong. Well, you're going to have to create, this is where they need to give more instruction. So you're going to have to create the table salesman and use this, and we need to tell the students, I mean, and I'll say this now, we need to tell the students, all right, you create the table, you add this data to the table, and then, or if the table is in there, all right, tell us that the table's already there. But for this example, I'm almost positive, I went and took a look at it. So you have to create the table, salesman, and then add the data to it, and then write the query statement.
Yeah, and that's where I spent hours today going, where is the salesman table every time I try to write a query? I'm
yeah, I know. It's like, it's absolutely crazy. So let me see. I want to open this. Hang on 1 second, Chris. Yeah. So yeah, I got you. Yeah. So that. Yeah. So I hope I didn't make it more confusing when I replied to you. Yeah. So.
No, I was saying the exact same thing that you did. I said it should be rewritten to say create a table using the information provided as in the table below. Once the table's complete, then write an SQL statement.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. How can you write a query on the table that's not there? Yeah. Okay. So I owe that to you guys. I'm going to I'll get that out first thing in the morning. My time. Because yeah, you're right. It's confusing. Let me go back. So I wanted to go over the exercises. So that's clear. I want to go over clearing up what was for Unit 2s. Basically, this week, Chris, is we're creating tables and we're manipulating tables with SQL Server.
Okay.
So, Chris, let me. How long have you been in this program with Southwestern?
This is actually my third class. All my prereqs were done with the Air Force, so computer programming. I've got 7 classes after this. I've only done Access and just finished up HTML.
So how far are you along on your degree program?
I have 7 classes left to finish. They're all the core classes for computer programming.
Yeah, so you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, probably. Well, not quite, but yeah.
About a year away.
About a year away, yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't want to take this any longer than what I have, but I wanted to open now. Like I said, I hope I've answered your questions, or if you have any other questions about the course or about the assignments. That's been the big thing for these first 2 weeks, has been clearing up how to submit your exercises and your assignments. I mean, the discussions are pretty clear, but overall, it's most of this week has been, the first 2 weeks has been trying to clear up for the students to how submit your assignments, like your question. All right, where the heck is the table? Yeah.
Nice.
But I know it's late there. That's all I have for this week, for this live session. Unless you have any other questions, I'm going to close this recording out, Chris.
So if you could just show me one thing. So for example, for the assignment, going down to where it's talking about the Unit 2 Colonial Adventures Tour.
Yeah.
Just something as simple as, how do I open up, just say I want to select just that database, Colonial Adventure Tours. Do I just double click that from the actual file from the SQL?
Oh, yes. So you connect that Colonial Tours database to your SQL Server, which it should be there, and then you open up that database.
Okay. And that's just on, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I can figure that part out.
I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll screenshot it for you, and I'll post it. I thought maybe I did. I think what's missing also too, Chris, is, all right, from very beginning of week 1 was, how do I connect my database?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's not in here, because let me go to the announcements.
So there was a link for downloading SQL and like the basic setup for that, but as far as like importing the files.
All right, how do I? Yeah, I provided all the databases are there. All right, how do I connect to those databases? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do I'll do a quick how-to in the morning on how do you actually. I mean, I didn't post that. How do you actually? I'll do a couple screenshots, and that way you know how to. All right, you got to use this database for this week. All right, how do I connect to it? And that's what you're.
3 steps, click this, click this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Let me write that down, because I'm going. I'll screenshot that for you, and I'll post it in the morning. Yeah. Good question. That should have been in there also. I mean, because if we get, we give the students how to set up how to install it, but we don't. There's an install video that I uploaded in the announcement section, but we don't. Which, all right, well, how do I connect to the database? Thanks, Chris. That's a good point. Okay. How-to guide.
And so for the other one, where we're creating tables, we wouldn't have to we would just create a new database, right? Our own.
That's correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, you would just, because it doesn't say, okay, my thing was, why didn't we, I'm talking about we as instructors or the course developers, why didn't we say, all right, for the Unit 2 exercise, why didn't we create a exercise that relates to the Colonial Ventures Tours exercise? All right, let's create it.
But it makes even more sense.
Yeah. So our first exercise was to do some stuff with Colonial Ventures Tours exercise. All right, and then the second exercise was, all right, let's create a table and write a query statement that relates to the Colonial Ventures Tours exercises, versus having the students having to go in, create that database, connect it, create the table, and then write the query statement and show the results. It just seems like another extra. It's not. This is just me, but you're right. It's a great question. What I'll do is I'll write like it'd be just screenshots.
Yeah. No, and I'm sure it's something simple for somebody that does it all the time, but for somebody that's never touched it, simple things like that are like, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this is the second time I've taught this one. Oh no, I taught the Oracle for this one. But yeah, but it needs to be reworked, but we'll get there. But like I said, I'll get you some. I'll post in the announcement sections tomorrow, like a simple how-to guide. It won't be detailed. It'll be just 3-step process. Here's how you do it.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, Chris. I know it's late there. You're the only one in the live session, but unless you have any other questions, I'm gonna close this out.
That should be it. Thanks, Terrell.
All right, Chris. All right, have a good day.
Good evening.
Yeah, bye.